The night was unusually still. The moon hung in the sky like a glowing lantern, casting its pale light across the quiet compound. Somewhere in the distance, a baby's cry pierced through the silence, thin at first, then stronger, desperate, almost like a trumpet of life announcing its arrival. Inside a small room dimly lit by a kerosene lamp, Anna sat on the edge of her bed, her body trembling, her eyes glistening with tears as she wrapped her newborn daughter in a faded blue cloth. She pressed the child against her chest and whispered with a voice that carried the weight of years of waiting. "You are my miracle, my answered prayer, my joy." But the path to this moment had been far from easy. It was a journey of hope, disappointment, prayers that seemed unanswered, and a society that had judged her harshly. The cry of her baby now was more than a sound, it was a testimony, a reminder that even the darkest nights can end with the dawn. What Anna did not know was that this child would bring both immeasurable joy and unimaginable trials. And as the lamp flickered, shadows danced on the mud walls, whispering secrets of the challenges yet to come. 10 years earlier, Anna had been a radiant young woman of 24, with warm brown eyes and a smile that could brighten any room. She lived in a small Nigerian town where everyone knew each other's business. Her days were filled with laughter, dreams, and the soft hum of hope. It was at a local wedding ceremony that she met Daniel, a tall, soft-spoken man with steady eyes and a calm spirit. Daniel was a teacher, respected in the community, known for his wisdom and humility. From the very first day they spoke, their connection was undeniable. "Your smile," Daniel had told her shyly, "is the kind that makes a man want to stay and never leave." Anna had laughed, her cheeks warming, and that simple exchange blossomed into something deeper. Soon, the town was whispering about the two, predicting wedding bells. And indeed, within a year, Anna and Daniel were married in a joyous ceremony filled with dancing, music, and the blessings of family and friends. Anna's mother hugged her tightly that day and whispered, "Marriage is sweet, my daughter, but motherhood is the true crown of a woman." Those words would echo in Anna's mind for years to come. In the first year of their marriage, Anna and Daniel lived with excitement, expecting that soon they would be blessed with a child. Every month brought new anticipation, but as months turned into years, anticipation turned into silence, and silence into whispers. The community began to notice. In a place where children were seen as proof of a fruitful union, Anna's empty arms became a subject of gossip. "Have you heard? Daniel's wife still hasn't conceived. 3 years now, and nothing, what could be wrong?" Each word was like a dagger to Anna's heart. She prayed night and day, fasting, crying out to God. Daniel, ever supportive, held her hands and reassured her, "Anna, children are gifts from God. He has not forgotten us." But even Daniel could not silence the voices of his relatives who began suggesting that he take another wife. One evening, after a particularly painful visit from Daniel's aunt, Anna sat alone outside, tears streaming down her face. She whispered to herself, "Am I less of a woman? Am I cursed?" That night, she made a vow in her heart, she would never stop believing, no matter how long it took. 7 years into their marriage, after countless hospital visits, herbal remedies, and endless prayers, something miraculous happened. One morning, Anna woke feeling unusually weak. She dismissed it as exhaustion, but when the day stretched on, she decided to see the doctor. The result left her speechless. "Congratulations, Mrs. Daniel," the doctor said with a smile. "You are expecting." Anna froze, her hand covering her mouth, her eyes filling with tears. She wanted to scream, to laugh, to dance, but all she could do was whisper, "Thank you, Lord, thank you." When she told Daniel, he lifted her off the ground and spun her around, laughing and crying at the same time. "God has remembered us, Anna. God has remembered us." But as joyous as the news was, the pregnancy would not be easy. The road ahead was full of challenges that would test their love, faith, and endurance. From the very beginning, Anna's pregnancy was fragile. The doctors warned her to rest often and avoid stress. Every little pain sent her into panic. Every silence of her unborn child made her restless. One night, in her 7th month, she woke to sharp pains that felt like her body was tearing apart. Daniel rushed her to the hospital, his heart pounding as he prayed under his breath. Hours passed. The doctors worked tirelessly. At last, the cry of a baby filled the room. Their daughter, Grace, was born. But as Anna held her child, exhausted and weak, she knew her journey was only beginning. Motherhood was more than carrying a child, it was sacrifice, sleepless nights, endless worries, and yet unspeakable joy. Grace grew, and with her, Anna grew too. She learned patience when Grace cried endlessly at night. She learned strength when money was short, and they could barely afford food and diapers. She learned courage when Grace fell sick and had to be hospitalized. Every challenge made Anna treasure her daughter more. And in every smile Grace gave, Anna found a new reason to live. But life has a way of testing even the strongest hearts. When Grace turned 5, Daniel suddenly lost his job. The family's financial struggles deepened. Relatives who once envied Anna's joy now whispered again, mocking her situation. Of what use is a child when you cannot feed her, some said. Daniel grew withdrawn, weighed down by failure. Anna, too, felt the pressure. Some nights, she sat by Grace's bedside, watching her daughter sleep peacefully, and whispered, "I will not give up. For you, I will fight. For you, I will endure." Just when things seemed hopeless, a small opportunity came. A neighbor introduced Daniel to a friend who needed a tutor. Slowly, Daniel began earning again, and with time, the family found stability. Years passed. Grace grew into a bright young girl, full of life, laughter, and dreams. Each milestone, her first words, her first steps, her first day of school, was a jewel in Anna's crown. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned golden, Grace ran to Anna with a handmade card. In shaky letters, it read, "To the best mommy in the world. Thank you for loving me." Anna held the card to her chest, tears running down her cheeks. In that moment, every year of waiting, every pain, every sleepless night felt worth it. She realized the true joy of motherhood was not just in giving birth, but in nurturing, sacrificing, and loving unconditionally. Moral lessons. Motherhood is a gift from God, but it requires patience, endurance, and faith. True love and support in marriage can withstand trials. The value of a woman is not only in motherhood but in her strength, courage, and faith. Every challenge can become a testimony if we do not give up. Reflection questions. How often do people judge others without knowing their hidden struggles? What role do patience and faith play in overcoming life's greatest challenges? In what ways can families and communities better support mothers in their journey? If this story touched your heart, remember to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring and life-transforming stories.